the first thing I think we should say is that we shouldn't get ahead of ourselves. For the moment, it's an operation which is underway. From what I've been reading in the press, it's not yet a finalized operation. But in terms of any generic comment that we would have on this and its compatibility with the DSA, I give the floor to Johannes.
Thank you. Apologies for having invited myself to the podium. Yes, no, I mean, we are of course aware of this announcement, but we as the Commission do not take a stance in the ownership of individual private companies. But can I say more generally that we are of course committed to safeguarding media freedom and pluralism. These are very vital for the good functioning of healthy democracies and for holding governments accountable to monitor democratic processes. And exactly our new online rules, the Digital Services Act, is very much taking this into account. I mean, it applies to all major platforms to make sure their power over public debate is subject to democratically validated rules, in particular on transparency and accountability. So one of the core objectives of the DSA is to better protect fundamental rights online. This includes protections from government interference in people's freedom of expression and information. And the horizontal rules against illegal content are carefully calibrated and accompanied by robust safeguards for freedom of expression and an effective right of redress. And I would maybe also like to go into a little bit more detail, if you allow. So first, the rules will ensure that terms and conditions of platforms are clear, understandable and transparent for all, and that the application is non-arbitrary. This is very important, so users know what they sign up to. Second, users have the right of complaint and redress against content moderation decisions. Fundamental rights, including the freedom of speech, are fully protected online at very large online platforms, and I have explained this yesterday, have the obligation to assess and mitigate risks related to their services, and that can include freedom of expression risks, but also others, for example, harmful content and media freedom and pluralism. So we will keep monitoring developments on our platforms as they take place, and we will ensure that DSA, once it enters into force and into application, is applied by our online platforms, and this includes, of course, also Twitter. And I would not normally do this, but the Commissioner in charge, Thierry Breton, just tweeted, and I will not read it here, but maybe you want to look this up because I think it's quite funny and addresses exactly what I said here in a few less words. Thank you.
Voilà. On the competition angle, quite frankly, I don't think we have anything to say at this stage. This is a buyout bid at the moment, so we will refrain from making any comment. I think the important point that Johannes was making is that the rules that have just been politically adopted and that will soon be legally adopted by the co-legislators apply to social media platforms, whoever is the owner, right? And that, I think, is extremely important to remember. So from that point of view, for us, it's not something that has an impact as of today.